Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Synsei Inc. And today I am back with another One Piece chapter review. Of course, this time for chapter 1026. And guys, I must say, I don't know if it's just me. Let me know in the comments, but every time we have a break, it feels so much longer than a week. Like, I will seriously be fiending, and I mean fiending for anything One Piece. Like, can we get a spoiler? Can we get a chapter? Anything, you know, and it feels so long, but I know it's only a week, but I'm really glad Oda's back, and he deserved the break. He really did, because he gave us 4 banger chapters back to back. But before we get into the review, again, as I always say in the beginning of my reviews, if you have not read this chapter yet, or you need the link to the chapter, make sure you go to the pinned comment, join my Discord, and in the announcements tab, there will be the link to the One Piece chapter. Read the chapter, then come back and watch the review, or you can read the chapter along with me as I review it. Also, if you like this content, make sure you subscribe, turn on post notifications, and leave a like. It's free, man. I really appreciate that. But now that we got all that boring corporate stuff out the way, let's get straight into the video. So this chapter is called Crucial Time. And this cover page is kind of cool. You have Nami and Leo. They seem to be making a t-shirt, which seems to be for the Lion Club, which, I mean, it's pretty cool. I like minks. A lot of people like minks. Y'all know how I feel about cats. You know what I'm saying? Cats are the goat, so you feel me? So we starting off in the flower capital this time. It seems like we start off either on the roof or the flower capital, like almost in any other chapter. Like, it's kind of crazy. And it seems like we haven't been in the flower capital in a while. Like, we haven't seen what's up with the people. We usually are starting on the roof in like every other chapter. So it was kind of cool to see something new. But the people are enjoying the festival. And there's this whole moment with Tengoyama and Toko, and they're basically talking about Tama leaving, and Tama saying that she may not return. But of course, Speed was saying that she'd protect Tama and things like that. But I don't know, man. It kind of is a surreal moment because Tama is such a young child, right? So I really like how Oda is showing us here the severity of the situation, that even a child is saying, like, I may not return. For someone to be that age and saying something like that, I mean, it just really drives home the fact that this is a very serious situation. Now, something we notice here pretty early on that's going to be very relevant in this chapter is the clouds that are over top of the flower capital. So because the clouds are here, it's blocking the view, which I know some of y'all might be wondering, Sensei, how can they not see this huge Onigashima flying towards them? And it's because the clouds are indeed in the way. And because of that, they can't see it. Now, of course, guys and gals, this is the point of the chapter where we get to the rooftop. You knew it was only a matter of time. I'm actually surprised that we got more Luffy stuff. Sometimes when Luffy gets to the main antagonist again, there's times where we kind of can veer off and Oda will show us some other stuff. And he did that a little bit in this chapter, but he actually gave us more rooftop stuff. So I was pretty excited about this. Now, the big controversy in this chapter, I think, is going to be how some of the people reacted to this next part, because there's a Mary that's announcing everything and talking about how there are 2 dragons. They're face to face, and the blue one is Kaido, and that Straw Hat or Mugiwara is riding a pink one. And they also mentioned that a wounded Yamato is up there as well. But the reactions are priceless, you know, and some of them, kid, I've already seen people that have read the spoilers talking about it in group chats, on Twitter, saying things like, oh, this is bad writing. Kid wouldn't say things like that. So when we get to this kid part, and we'll get there soon, I'm going to ask you guys a question. And I'm going to get my take on it, because I've been seeing a lot of like Oda slander, and it's kind of crazy. Because I digress, we'll get there soon. But the Mary makes this announcement, and I think what's really cool about this moment is that Yamato has this like internalized flashback where she's thinking about Momonosuke in a previous time, and he was talking about, like, if I could turn into a monster like him, I'd be able to help. And it's kind of cool. Oda has created this way of him being aged up so he could turn into a dragon that is the same size and stature of Kaido. This chapter is very much pushing home Momonosuke and his confidence. I'm very, very intrigued in this. I was super excited to see Momonosuke stand up to Kaido. And we actually get to see that later on in this chapter as well. This chapter drove home his confidence. And also in this arc, there have been other times where he's been super fire and confident. Him letting Kanjuro take him, telling him, go ahead with the mission, I'll be fine. Him grabbing the knife to attack Kanjuro. He then gets beat up. He's pretty much crucified. He's up there on display on this wooden stake to be executed. and he's still holding and keeping his confidence. Momonosuke, even though he has the 8-year-old mindset, I feel like him getting aged up is symbolic to how much of a man he has been in this arc, man. Momonosuke, man, shout out to him. So Queen is down there, hears the Mary, and reacts. Queen's old as shit, by the way, like I think 56, like oh my god, bro. But anyway, that was mad random, but it was funny. But Queen says, was Yamato the one who stopped Kaido-san? So we get back to this rooftop situation. We have these two dragons going at it. Now Kaido, of course, using his trash breath, Boro breath, and Luffy's like yelling at Momo. This part is super funny because Luffy's telling Momo like what to do in his dragon form, and he's like telling him, yo, shoot something back out of your mouth. And Momo's like, bro, I don't know how to do that. Like, yeah, I've never learned how to do that. Like, like, how am I supposed to borrow anything out my mouth? But of course, Kaido doesn't let up or anything. He still shoots the Boro breath, the trash breath, you know, and Momonosuke dodges it. So this next part is pretty funny. So at this point, Luffy jumps off and he punches Kaido. I think he's using his elephant gun, hits him, right? Kaido falls to the ground. And at this time, I'm like, what did Luffy tell Momo? Because I really couldn't understand. Like, you can't really understand what he said at first, you feel me? But he said something to him. So then Momonosuke's yelling, I can't. Because this man, Luffy, has yelled and told Momonosuke to bite Kaido. I'm like, oh my god, Joe. Not bite him. Like, but this is a really good moment for Momonosuke. This is the part I was talking about earlier that drives home his confidence. He thinks about everything at Kiri Castle. He thinks about Odin's death. He thinks about his mom. And he gets the courage and he tries to bite, and he does bite Kaido's body. So Kaido kind of lets out a little scream like, yo, like you bit me for real? Kaido's like, what do you think you're doing? Like, bro, you Mike Tyson? Like, yo, you out here biting? Momonosuke says, you have destroyed Wano Kuni. I have to stop you. And Luffy, you feel me, says, well done, Momo. This is awesome, bro. I was like, yo, my man Momonosuke really a man out here. Really bit Kaido, like, yo. So this next part, yo, shout out to my homie Auto Million on Twitter, my homie Big Cash, you feel me? Like, man, yo, I didn't want to do you dirty, bro, but I had to, bro, because basically, I'll give y'all a little short story. My homie Cash, one of my brothers, I love him to death. He's a Jack fan, and he was always like, man, Jack's gonna be Inu, and I was just like, I was going with it for a while because I had no idea that Sulon was coming back. But then Sulon came back and I was like, oh no, Oda might have Inu beat Jack. I'm like, oh no. Like, yo. So you remember earlier I told you about the clouds, right? So the clouds that were covered up in the flower capital covered up everything. So the moon went away. Now at this time, Jack is talking heavy. Peril Sparrow's talking heavy. They're like, oh, your luck ran out. You almost beat me. I guess you weren't that lucky, cat. I guess you weren't that lucky, dog. And I'm like, oh my God. At this point, I was really kind of upset because y'all know how I feel about the Minx, but y'all specifically know how I feel about Nekomamushi. Like, that's my guy. That's my goat. You know what I mean? So I'm like, yo, my man Neko about to lose the Peril Sparrow, bro. Like, oh my God, this is Wanda and Carrot all over again. Like, what's he gonna tell my man Neko? Like, go get some fancy feast, go get some cat food. Like, bro, what's he? I'm like, oh my God. So anyways, back to the rooftop though, you feel me? Before we get to the climax of their fights, this man Luffy basically brings up a good point. He said, Momo, you just bit a Yonko. You just bit a Yonko. Like, what do you have to be afraid of? And I'm just like, yo, you're right. Like, Luffy's actually right. I really like this moment, man. This is a great moment. Because Luffy, again, driving home that fact, putting a nail in the coffin. Like, look at all the stuff that you've done. Look at you. You are a child, but you a grown man. Like, you've done a lot in this arc. And now you just bit a Yonko, man. Like, you gotta be proud of yourself. And you gotta know that there's nothing you should be afraid of. You bit Kaido, the king of the beast. If it's one-on-one bet on Kaido, this ain't that Kaido, you bit him. So at this time, everybody should have known this next part was gonna happen, man. He tells Momonosuke to save Onigashima. We all knew that that's one of the main reasons why he was going to be aged up and be a big dragon, so he can stop Onigashima from crashing. We knew that. But Luffy tells Momonosuke something very relevant and important. He's like, bro, leave this to me. I got this. And I'm just sitting here like, hey, if Luffy saying he got it, bro, then my man got it. You know what I mean? He keeps saying it. I believe him. Of course, Oda hitting us with the awesome double page. I'm like, man. So we see Luffy and Kaido in his dragon form. We see the joy of the samurais, and we see all the reactions of like all the people around, Nami, Tama, Frankie. But this is the part I was talking about earlier with Kid, bro. So Big Mom, of course, being Big Mom. Mama. Did you hear it? What a funny guy. And Kid says, of course you have to. Responding to Luffy saying that he's gonna win. He's gonna, beat Kaido. I'll definitely win. Law's like, what on earth has he been doing? But this part with Kid is people were saying it's Oda having bad writing because Kid is saying he had to win. But it's like, what do you expect Kid to do? Like, I know Kid was saying, oh, I'm gonna behead Kaido earlier. But it's like, bro, he's fighting another Yonko. He's fighting Big Mom right now. What do you expect Kid to do? Jump up on the roof and still fight Kaido? Like, it's over with, bro. And he knows that he's not fighting Kaido at this point. He understands that because unlike some of y'all that are hating on Oda's writing, Kid has having the mindset that makes sense. He's logically thinking. He's like, well, of course, I'm not fighting Kaido anymore. I'm in the front of Big Mom and Luffy's up there and we're on a floating Onigashima and he's way on the rooftop. I'm down here fighting Big Mom. Of course, I'm not going to fight Kaido anymore. He knows this. So he's telling Luffy, swallowing his pride and saying, yo, you have to win. But I don't think it's like on some dick riding shit where it's like, oh, you got to win, like on some cheerleader shit. I think it's just him being like, yo, Luffy, I can't beat Kaido. I can't be up there beating Kaido right now. Like I said, I wanted to. So you have to win. Because if you don't win, you're going to make all of us look stupid. That's kind of how it's like, that's how it's coming off to me. It's basically Kid saying like, bro, you got to win. And that's just kind of, how I look at it. I just think it's not fair to say Oda has bad writing because Kid said that. That doesn't make any sense. But then we have the best part of the chapter, besides Nekomamushi being the GOAT. But anyways, the best part of the chapter. I'm so excited for this part. We have Luffy and Kaido having a Conqueror's coding clash. And we see, just like in the Whitebeard and Roger situation, their attacks are not touching themselves because there is a Conqueror's coding clash. And when they do this, the sky splits open. They have split the heavens. Luffy, for the first time in the story with Conqueror's coding, has split the heavens. This is the greatest part of this chapter, bar none. Luffy is officially a Yonko to me. He has split the heavens against another Yonko. That solidifies him as a top tier to me, bro. It is what it is. But because he splits the heavens open with Kaido and he splits the clouds, guess what's back? Oh, I wait, class. Ding, 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 ding. You're right. It's the moon. The moon is back. Bro, the moon is back, which means what, class? That Sulong is back. And Inuarashi and Nekomamushi, they beat the dog shit and cat shit out of Pero Sparrow and Jack. They have defeated, and the Mary reports this, that everyone gets knocked out from the Conqueror's Clash, and that Jack the Drought has been defeated, and that Pero Sparrow has been defeated. It's official. It's official. Sulong is commander level plus, because he beat a commander. Like, come on, man. We out here for real. Let's go. Let's get it. My man Nekomamushi and my man Inuarashi, 2 dubs. Come on, man. Come on, man. Guys, that is the end of the chapter. This chapter was a banger, bro. This is a banger chapter. Long chapter, fire art, fire story, fire highs, fire chapter. I'm giving this a 10 out of 10 because my man Inu and Neku got the dubs. 10 out of 10. Come on, man. My man Luffy split the habit. Yo, Oda's in his bag once again, bro. Perfect chapter to me. I don't care. Say what you want. I love this chapter. I don't care about any of the criticisms right now because I am on a high right now. I am in euphoria right now. This dead gas. But of course, guys, thank you for watching my review. I want to know in the comment section. Remember, I told you I had a question for you. Do you think that the kid stuff was bad writing? Because I honestly don't. Also, let me know what you rate the chapter down in the comments below and your favorite part of the chapter. Of course, guys, as always, I hope you all are staying safe and healthy during these trying times. This has been Synsei Inc., and I will see you all in the next video.